Welcome back to the film room. Today we are talking about Perrion Winfrey, the former Oklahoma defensive tackle who went in the 4th round to the Cleveland Browns. He was a guy who was projected to go as high as maybe, early day 2, but probably, day 2 nonetheless. I saw him projected on like the Draft Network's board in like the 30s. A lot of people maybe in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. So him falling in, well into the triple digits was definitely a surprise for some people. So we're going to look at his 2021 game, Bedlam versus Oklahoma State, and try to get some insight into why he fell maybe, and still what kind of player he is and what he can bring to the Cleveland Browns. So before we get into it though, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, all of that if you enjoy. Suggest more prospects down below and let me know what you think of Perrion Winfrey. Especially Browns fans would love to know what you think of your draft. But without any further ado, let's get into the tape. So here's our first play. He's lined up right there with the arrow. And this is going to be a really good show of what he can do as a run defender with his upfield explosiveness. And even though he's not going to end up being able to make a play here, as it's going to be play action and he's reading kind of an outside zone look, it's still a really good play. You're going to see how fast he gets upfield. He's able to really just break through against offensive guards and interior offensive linemen with his speed and his power. It just kind of catches him off guard sometimes. We'll see it from this angle. You're going to see how fast he gets off the line. You can see he's already a step in. He's almost upright. This line has not moved. He moved right with the ball. This guy's still completely down. This guy's still completely down. You're going to see, they're still barely getting up, and he's already about to make contact with the center. And he's going to burst right through, stay good leverage. And if this is a handoff to the running back, this is a huge play for him, but it is play action, so he's not going to be able to get anything. But this was still a great show of what he can do as a very explosive run defender. Now here's our next play. This is going to be one where he does get home, just going to show off his instincts and his ability to shed blocks for a tackle for loss. Was very impressed with this play, and you're going to see he just gets in the backfield, hammers him, and gets a big tackle for loss here in the red zone. And this is something I think he can do pretty consistently at a high level. Again, we'll talk about his pass rushing more later, but as a run defender, I think he's definitely, a contributor from day one. So you're going to see he just tosses that guy. Obviously, NFL offensive linemen are going to be a lot better than that, but still, good shed, good job getting in the backfield. I'd rather see him wrap up than just try to go for a big shoulder hit here. I'd rather see him wrap up than go for that shoulder hit and, not really wrap up that well, but still, good play, and he ends up making the tackle for a nice loss. Now, here's our next play. This is going to be just another play of him. He's really good against zone runs. He's really good at getting in the gap between the moving linemen, and he's going to get an even better play than just a tackle for loss. That guy did not jump off sides according to the refs. They didn't call anything that I saw. And you're going to see he gets a forced fumble, and it leads to a safety. So this was another just great play. It's 31. It looks like he does move a little bit early, but they're not going to call. I think he moved with the ball. As Winfrey's just going to get right into the chest of this tackle. You're going to see just use kind of his head, uses leverage, gets low, and just drives him straight back into the running back. And then is able to use his arm, help poke that ball free. Maybe the running back just let go of it in pure terror of him, but it's going to roll back. So that's a tackle for loss, a forced fumble, and just an all-around great play from him and showing, just what he can do as a high-level run defender. Now, here our next one. This is going to be another good play, one he doesn't really get home on, but I like this pressure. This is one of his better pass rushing snaps from this game. Just got right into the center's chest, got right into the quarterback's face, forces him to roll out. He still completes the pass and gets the first down, but this is still a really good rep and shows what he can do just with his power and upfield explosiveness, which I think are his biggest strengths. It's just and when he can combine those two, his hands again aren't great, but we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But he's going to drive this guy straight back. He's kind of got another guy pushing him from the side, and log of pressure is a pretty good play. This next one is going to be our last play. Actually, it's our next to last play. And this is going to be another good example of what he can do, just disrupting in the backfield, as he's just going to get around, get a hand in there, help pull him down. Not going to end up really making the tackle, but I thought this was still a great rep. And again, against a zone run, he just blows this guy right into his runner. Makes the, the running back pretty much runs into his guard and then lets this other guy right here get home. Winfrey's right there, and they're going to end up getting another good tackle in the backfield. Now, here's our last one, and this is going to be this is one example. We're not going to look at a ton of examples of him pass rushing, but they tried on a lot of occasions to use him on like stunts where he's going to be moving outside. So you're going to see him try to get around, but he just does not have the speed or the hands to really make it work. And, again, this is just one play. I'm not going to show a ton of examples of this because I'd like to keep these pretty positive and just focusing on their strengths. But this is something that they tried to do quite a few times in this game, and they all pretty much looked like this. He's running around. He's going to try to like dip, and you can tell he doesn't have much lateral agility, doesn't have much bend, doesn't have much good hand usage, and it's just going to end up not going very well. So now let's wrap it up and let's talk about what I think he's going to be at the NFL. So really, he relied on his power and his explosiveness, which worked a lot of the times, but also there was a few times, not just a limited, 1 or 2 times. There was probably a good 3 or 4 times where he got pushed completely out of the play by one of these guards on a run. So definitely not like a Jordan Davis kind of player. Like, he doesn't win dominantly every time, or at least, stay still every time. He's going to get pushed around on occasion, so he's not perfect, but still his run defense was definitely his biggest strength. And in terms of pass rushing and maybe just more of a finesse way of run defense, he didn't display much good use of his hands. I really wasn't impressed with his hands at all. He had a couple good sheds, but in terms of like any pass rush moves or anything like that, did not give me any indicators that he's there yet. Obviously could develop because he's a pretty good athlete, at least in terms of power and explosiveness, but didn't have great technique or much speed or finesse or bend or anything that you would expect from probably a smaller guy. Obviously, he's a big defensive tackle. You're not expecting him to be a great speed rusher, but I would like to see him develop that part of his game, or just at least his hands. So I think he has the potential, but he didn't impress me enough to think he was like a steal at this draft position. I think falling to the 4th round was very much warranted for the player that he is, and I think the Cleveland Browns got pretty solid value for him. So that's going to wrap it up for today. I think he's a good player, good run defender, could develop as a pass rusher, but I don't see all the signs yet. So again, thank you for watching. Browns fans, let me know what you think of this pick, and everyone, make sure to suggest more prospects I should feature down below, and make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed. All that would greatly appreciate it. Supports the channel a ton, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.